Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about 10 mistakes you need to absolutely avoid when hiring a contractor. Let's dive right in. Hey, this is Andy from Sweet Additions. Thanks for watching. If you're new here, our goal is to help homeowners and investors create more housing and generate wealth. It would help us out if you can give us a like and subscribe. Also, we have a comprehensive in-person training program coming up. More details at sweetadditions.com/training. Okay, so we've compiled a list of the most common mistakes that people make when hiring a general contractor. Some of these lessons are from our own mistakes, some are from our clients, and some are from our friends. Now, keep in mind that it doesn't matter if you hire a big company or two guys in a van, as long as you avoid these mistakes. Now, this isn't to disparage contractors at all. I know many excellent ones. The purpose of this is to separate the good contractors from the ones that you would rather avoid, and help increase your chance of finding the right one. Stick around to the end because after the top 10 list, we will also advise you on things that you should do that you may not have thought of before. So here are 10 things you need to avoid when hiring a general contractor for your Max Suite conversion project or any renovation project for that matter. Coming in at number 10, hiring someone that is available too soon. Generally speaking, a reputable contractor will be booked out at least several weeks. Highly sought after contractors might even be months or a year out. Of course, this is not always true, as some larger companies have greater scale and flexibility, so that's why this is not on the top of the list. Tread carefully on this one. At number 9, hiring the lowest price contractor. There are generally two main reasons why a contractor will come in low on a quote compared to others. 1, they have such great systems and efficiencies in place they're able to transfer these savings over to their clients. 2, they either don't have enough experience or intentionally price too low to get the contract and end up having to add to the scope of work after the fact. If you're going to hire a company at a lower price, make sure it's for reason number 1. Coming in at number 8, hire a contractor that specializes in everything. By definition, you cannot specialize in everything. This is like a family doctor who's also an ophthalmologist and a cardiologist. Unless, again, you're hiring a big company with many different divisions. But in our experience with conversion projects, you're better off hiring a contractor who focuses on certain things that they do with specialty. This means that you may not necessarily want to hire someone to build a basement suite if they mostly do landscaping work or build decks, for example. At number 7, company that takes on too many projects at a given time. This is similar to the first 3 items where you don't want to hire a contractor unless they're large enough to take on a lot of projects at once. Some contractors bite off more than they can chew. So this is actually human nature, as it's hard to say no to money. But often they end up shooting themselves in the foot because they're not able to complete the work and end up with problems and a bad reputation. I've seen this happen to the best of them. Coming in at number 6, not checking references. Don't go with just photos of previous work. Ask to speak with previous clients. Contractors who are confident in their work won't have issues sharing past client contact information. Now, even though people won't typically outright say negative things, you'll pick up on things on the phone call from people such as certain pauses or scrambling for words to say something in a nice way. So things that you can only pick up with on a phone call. Better yet, doing a Zoom call or viewing past work in person is great. Okay, so now we're halfway through the list. The first 5 were ones that you really need to tread carefully but can make judgment calls based on certain conditions. The top 5 coming up are critical items that you should focus on. Coming in at number 5, not having a contract. So this one really should go without saying, but you'd be surprised how many people hire a contractor without a contract. You might have been one of them. And I'm also guilty as charged in the past. I mean, for goodness sake, the word contract is in their title. So make sure there's a signed contract for obvious reasons. Number 4, overlooking early warning signs. Here's a list of things that you might not find acceptable during the course of the renovation. So if they commit these early on, it might be a showstopper. These include being late to meetings, poor communication on the phone or email, being overly negative and not solutions-oriented during the initial meetings, being messy or disorganized, being rude or condescending, talking down to you or other people. You get what I mean. Now, obviously, many of these aspects can be hidden at the beginning, so it's no guarantees a polished initial first impression won't go downhill after. But if these traits are revealed early on, it should be a showstopper. And it's hard for some people to hide these even at the beginning, so pay close attention early on. I heard a quote before which said that if you wouldn't work with someone for 10 years, don't work with them for a day. Okay, we're getting close to the top of the list. Coming in at number 3, hiring someone who doesn't have experience with building permits, or worse, tell you that permits are not needed when they are. When doing conversion projects, permits are key. You don't want to have an illegal unit that can potentially get shut down by the city. A contractor that is willing to have their work inspected, is confident in their quality level, and also likely quoted the project more accurately. Beware of contractors who push you to avoid getting permits. Although permits are a little bit more work initially, there is value in the long run. Number 2, not clearly spelling out the scope of work on your project. Although it's definitely important to actually have a contract, not spelling it out in detail can result in disaster. I've seen this happen before to our clients. This is a recipe for scope creep and additional things added that weren't anticipated. So make sure to have the entire scope itemized and detailed in your contract. You don't necessarily need to have each part of the work itemized by price, as many contractors don't do this, but what's covered should be part of the contract. Often, when the scope is not complete, there's misunderstandings as to what's included and what isn't, so don't be shy to ask for it at this stage. Okay, finally, coming in at number 1, hiring someone who doesn't have proper licensing and insurance requirements. A reputable contractor should have no issues getting proper licensing and insurance, or ensure that their subcontractors have them as well. For example, trades such as plumbing, electrical, and mechanical all require licensing from regulatory bodies. General contractors may need to be licensed with a particular municipality to perform work for the public. Examples of insurance requirements include worker safety, comprehensive general liability, and builder's insurance covering damage or catastrophic loss in a new construction project. In addition to just how qualified they are, appropriate licensing and insurance is huge protection against liability for you as a client. Okay, so there you have it, 10 mistakes to avoid when hiring a contractor. Now, it's important to keep in mind that a good contractor is qualifying you just as much as you're qualifying them. You may be giving off signs that make them not want to work with you, especially if they're busy. So follow everything above with courtesy and professionalism. Don't come across demanding or condescending yourself. Remember, you should always try to create a win-win situation. They need to make a profit on their job, and you should get a good product for a fair price that will add long-term value to your property. There's no point in the long run to try to win one over a contractor. So having said this, here's some 5 positive things to consider with your contractor. 1, see if they'd be up for stipulating a bonus for early completion or penalty for delays. For example, let's say rent on your project is $3,000 a month. It might make sense to give $100 extra for each day the project is completed early and $100 penalty each day the project is late. Of course, issues that are outside of their control, such as city inspection delays, should be factored in. 2, it's a good idea to work with a contractor who is aligned with your objectives. For example, if you invest in basement second suites, it might be a good idea for you to hire a contractor who's also an investor and understands your goals. 3, see if they can offer post-construction warranty and support. A good contractor who's confident in the work should have no issues providing this to a certain extent. 4, it's a good idea to find a contractor that's closely connected with a network that you're a part of. For example, if you're part of a learning, mastermind, or investment group, the contractor that works with several people in that network is incentivized to do a good job, as they don't want to have their reputation tarnished. Okay, we hope that you found the information to be helpful. So this covers our recommendations when hiring a contractor. We'll definitely be learning more things as we have both a general contractor and a home builder at our upcoming in-person Max Suite training program. If you're interested in that, more information can be found at suiteadditions.com/training or in the link in the description below. Okay, so what are your thoughts? Am I wrong on anything here? Is there anything positive or negative that you would do? Please share them in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. To learn more about the Max Suite strategy, download our free guides at suiteadditions.com and get started. And if you enjoyed this video, here's another great one for you.